invest in food businesses that we truly support, that we want to see for our kids and future generations. With that being said, our last but not the least founder is another women's superpower. She's a PhD and now is transforming an stale pantry staple into this fun, inspiring, plant-based, nutritious new food company. Let's hear more from Down to Cook's founder, Trishna Saigal.
Hi, everyone. Like Franca said, I'm the founder of Down to Cook. We make plant-based meal starters that elevate fresh vegetables. There you go. Okay. So I just want to give a little bit of background from my story, how I got here. I'm a formulation scientist, graduated from Carnegie Mellon, got my first job making ranch dressing, worked for the Clorox company, and I love kind of taking a structural look at food and understanding how the texture relates to expressed flavors. So I even earned the nickname, the Texture Queen. But then after a couple years there, I really decided I wanted to work on something healthier, something good for the planet, so I joined the plant-based movement. And I worked on all these new products that were coming out that were meant to mimic animal products, so meat, dairy analogs. And what I saw kind of firsthand with that was that we were doing a lot of over-processing to try to fit this puzzle piece that never quite fit. And in the end, these products ended up being over-engineered, not always the healthiest, and then very expensive. So we were excluding a whole number of people from being able to even access plant-based food. So that's what really motivated me to take a step back and look at things in a different way. So I looked at all the solutions. What does it take to cook plant-based food from scratch? What does it take to use like some of the meal kits or some of the products out there? And then I really found this kind of opportunity to kind of solve for both problems, figure out something that's both healthy and cost-effective. And the answer is really to focus on fresh vegetables. So we make products that transform veggies into delicious meals. So our first product to market is called Add a Veggie. It's a plant protein mix that you add a vegetable to, and it creates a delicious ground meat alternative. So the way it works, you take your vegetable that you've riced, you can chop your mushrooms, rice cauliflower, you add it to our mix with some water and the healthy fats of your choice, and then you can form it into patties, meatballs, leave it as a crumble, and pan fry. So the whole process takes about 10 to 15 minutes, but you're using whole ingredients. So I really kind of focused on a solution that bridged, the food science with also using whole ingredients in your cooking. Now the magic of the mix, the protein is what gives you the satiety that you need, but also the mix adds a delicious texture to veggies. So when I was interviewing people early on about, why veggies kind of don't stand up as a satisfying meal, protein was one thing that came up, but just kind of needing that, that satisfaction you get from a nice, chew and, things that you get typically from meat. So that's what the mix adds. It has a nice chew, it crisps really well, and it browns really nicely so that it really is a satisfying center of plate protein. And the base of our mix is pea protein. We use psyllium husk as a probiotic fiber, spices, so all you have to do is add the vegetable, and it's free of all top 9 allergens as well. Now, part of my mission was accessibility and inclusivity in the plant-based movement. And with our mix, because it's so versatile, you can use different vegetables, you can make different forms. You can really kind of come up with a lot of different meals that would typically use ground meat and kind of sub it into any cultural cuisine. So like the top left, that's a traditional Indian dish that I grew up eating that's usually made with lamb. It's called keema, but we made it with cauliflower in our mix. You can also do veggie kebabs. You could do eggplant meatballs, mushroom tacos. I mean, the possibilities are kind of endless. And then the other great thing is that you can take, I think we've all kind of experienced this. You have veggies in your drawer that are left over, maybe a broccoli stem, maybe, half a bunch of kale that you're not sure what to do with. Then maybe it's aging. You can add in that to your Add a Veggie and then turn it into a delicious meal. So it also helps kind of reduce household food waste, which stretches people's budget and makes kind of ongoing produce consumption and eating healthy at home sustainable and attainable. So we have 4 flavors that we sell right now. Our original blend is kind of the most versatile, great for kids, so when I serve my daughter. And then I have herby roasted garlic, that's great for our Italian Mediterranean cuisine, chipotle adobo, and Indian masala blend. Now, why a dry mix? I know it's not typically thought of as like the healthy category, the place you would go to look for a plant-based protein, but really when I kind of looked at the whole system of like what could I do to make a plant-based option that was affordable and healthy, this was actually the solution that made the most sense. Because I'm just giving people the essentials. They're adding in the fresh veggie as the base, so I don't need to add in fillers. I don't need to pay for water weight and refrigerated supply chain, and I'm able to take all that cost out of the product and pass that on to the customer and the home cook. Now, this is the comparison I love doing. How many people are familiar with Hamburger Helper or ate it as a kid? Awesome. It's surprising to me sometimes people don't. But okay, so Hamburger Helper, ultimate like affordable, dry product that you can get out there, kind of a staple American cuisine. It's $1.50, right? But you have to go buy the ground meat. Retails for like $5 or $6. And if you want to add a veggie to make it complete, a meal for a family of 4 is around $8.50. Now we sell add a veggie for $6, and then you have to go buy the vegetable and maybe a carb. But the meal cost is actually quite similar. So just think of, just from price point alone, how many people we can reach with the plant-based offering that's both healthy for them and satisfying for their families. Now we currently sell in a number of retailers in Northern California. We're in Independent Naturals. We sell in Good Eggs. We partner with Imperfect Foods and Misfits Market. And very exciting news for us, we just launched in Whole Foods last week in Northern California as well. Thank you. I was literally just doing store visits last week, so it's kind of an exciting thing to talk about now. And then we're also, one of the things that, I didn't have time for today, but we're also starting to launch into food service as well. Chefs love this because they can be super creative with it, reduce their kitchen waste, and that's kind of another channel we're working on in addition to our retail product. So the team is myself. I've commercialized over 40 different products over the last 10 years before I started Down to Cook. My co-founder, Joey, previously started and exited companies in the tech space. Disclaimer, he's my husband. This is our life. So, together we're really kind of on this mission to create healthy, sustainable foods. And because we're so technical focused, we've kind of stacked our advising team to be really marketing, very high expertise in marketing and business development. Kirsten Tovey is the founder of Revolution Foods. She's been great to kind of make sure that we're always kind of keeping our mission in terms of how we kind of go to market. And then Karina Martinez and Asha have been a great help with some of our digital and PR efforts. And then we were previously part of the ICA Accelerator, if you're familiar with, in Oakland. And we're currently doing Food Foundry, which is the food service accelerator run by Guardian Food Service in Chicago. So they basically will give us distribution and then also help us sell into colleges, healthcare facilities, and restaurants. So I just wanted to leave you with this beautiful photo of a broccoli lasagna. You wouldn't even tell that that's broccoli, but we've had, the fortune of being recognized by a lot of great press, being out here in the industry, and meeting all of you folks. So I just wanted to say, thank you. I'm so glad I got to do this in person. When I did it, it was virtual, and it's really just nice to see people again. So thank you for having me, and good luck to everybody on the Fish Slam.
Thank you, Trishna. So inspiring, and what a